like a international group that has all the financial experts. So whatever I've said, right, is just like maybe half of his credential.
Then how to fight?
Just say.
So Senior Minister Tharman Shanmugaratnam has just announced his intention to be president. Some say he might be the best president Singapore has ever seen.
Wow.
Some say, why isn't he our prime minister? People have wanted him to be prime minister for the longest time. And this sentiment hasn't died yet. So I'm going to show you guys some comments. Like this, Terence, how I wish Mr. Tharman was our next PM instead. Whichever path he chooses, he has my full support. We have Malin Kumar, he is the PM Singapore needs, not someone from the 4G team. Okay. Tay, a man of his talent should run for PM, not president lah. His wish, so be it. We have McMahon, I think he would serve Singapore better as the PM rather than the president. So a lot of people feel this is the role he should be playing, Prime Minister. And for the longest time, Tharman hasn't actually addressed this. All he has said before is, I'm not keen to be Prime Minister. But finally, a reporter has asked him point blank, what about the PM role? And he has given his thoughts on this. So I'm going to play a video for y'all. Here's what he said.
A lot of my instincts were shaped as a sportsman. I spent my growing years spending 200% of my time in sports. And I played many games. But I found in almost all the games I played, particularly competitive field games at a very high level, that I never liked being centre forward. In fact, I didn't particularly like being the person who scored goals. But I enjoyed greatly, and for some reason was quite good, at being centre half, left half, sometimes fullback. I don't know why, but I like guarding the pack, and I like planning the game. And I enjoy making a deceptive pass to the person who's really the centre forward to make the most of the ball. So that's me.
Okay, so that is his response. Alright, so what are your thoughts after hearing his views?
Before we share any points, right, I always find that these ministers, they are so good, they are so sexy, so charismatic, every time when I hear them speak, it's just,
Calm and collected.
Yeah, very
and this
composed.
guy is one of the top ones.
Yeah, very, very composed.
I think he might be the best guy, right, to be president. Because the way he replied the question, right, you can see that from his personality, his ideology, the way he want to do things, and the position that he want to be in, right, it seems to be the role of the president.
KP, I totally disagree with you. I think he will make a better prime minister. Okay, so just now, right, based on his interview, right, the sport that he's talking about, right, is soccer. And like centre forward, centre back. Right, if you watch soccer, right, the captain of the team, right, is not always a striker. Right? It's actually highly unlikely is a striker. They are the one that play the midfield position or the back position. Because they are the one that actually control the game. Yeah. So when it comes to think of the captain, right, who is the captain of Singapore? Right? Who's the one that lead the people? Right? It's the PM one. Yeah, and he said that he want to make the crucial pass for the striker to strike, right? Like this thing, right, is strategizing. Right? Making the crucial pass is strategizing, and that's the role of the PM of Singapore. Yeah.
Interesting. That's true actually.
PM, Tharman.
Okay, so far nobody has come out to say, I also want to run for presidency. But if anyone were to do it, they will do it in the next couple of days. Do you guys think there will be people coming forward?
I don't know if there will be people coming forward, but I wish there will be people coming forward.
Same.
Because, right, for the past period, a lot of, our elections, right, a lot of them, they think that it's a walkover again, last time our S. Ranadhan, our Halimah Yacob, right, people feel that, hey, we never really elect them, what? So they kind of not our president. The kind of feeling still stays in them, So I don't want this time round, right, they have the same feeling after, 4 or 5 years again.
Yeah, he won't get that full enjoyment of being president.
It has to be recognized. So it's very sad. But even if there's candidates, right, I feel Tharman can actually handle and in fact win them. Because this guy, right, he has a crazy CV. So he has held a lot of key appointments. He was a Minister of Education, he was Minister of Finance, he was Deputy Prime Minister, and currently he's a Senior Minister lah. But not just that, he's also the Chairman of MAS. He's
Big.
big, super big, man.
How can one person hold so many positions at
That's
once?
why. And he's also a Deputy Chairman of GIC.
Wow.
Like the two
And-
biggest finance bodies really.
It is, and you know all these things are he like finance related, and he's the best economist in Singapore lah. One of the best lah, I think.
Probably the best. Probably the
Yeah.
best.
And not just all these are local, right? Not just that. Globally, right? He's very recognized by a lot of like financial organizations.
Really?
He is on the board of IMF, and he's also the chairman of the Group of 30. So,
What's
group is a like a international group that has all the financial experts.
Oh, he got a lot of finance credentials.
Financial related, yeah.
I think he's very well respected in this industry lah.
In fact, yeah. So whatever I've said, right, it's just like maybe half of his credential.
Then how to fight?
Okay, I agree that Tharman is a very strong candidate. But I also feel like there are also other candidates that can put up a fight against him. For example, common one, our former transport minister, Lee Heng Kiang, our former finance minister, and also George Goh. This guy has held a lot of ministerial position before. He was the former minister of trade and industry, former minister of communication, information and art, and also former minister of health. Yeah,
He's good lah. George Goh is solid.
He has
but
a
I
lot
think
of
he
position
has
before.
a tendency to lose to an Indian.
And also, right, we cannot forget about our man, Lee Hsien Yang. Although he is under investigation, but if the investigation cleared before the election, he might run for presidency like he said he might lah. Yeah.
He'll be our Nelson Mandela. President in jail.
So the last guy, right, is George Goh. He is currently the Singapore ambassador to Morocco and also the founder of Harvey Norman, which is a huge company. So yeah, you see, there are actually a lot of possible candidates that might stand a chance against Tharman.
It's just funny that you mentioned George Goh, Cause right, I was on the MRT the other day, right, there was these two old couple, and they was talking about like the PE lah, they were talking about who are the potential candidates. And one of the person that they bring out, right, is George Goh.
And he's not very well known.
I don't know the auntie lah, the old auntie was like, 你懂那个 George Goh 吗? Then the husband is like, who is that? Say, 那个 Norman Harvey 的老板啦。
Norman Harvey, auntie 你懂在讲什么吗？
Then the husband is like, huh, what are you talking? 哎呀 Norman Harvey 你不懂啊？哎呀，不要讲了，I'll talk to you already lah. Then like, I was like, okay, then I started googling more about him.
Even auntie know about George Goh.
Turns out, right, his CV is also quite stacked one. Yeah, just now you mentioned he's the ambassador, and then he also the founder of Harvey Norman, right? Yeah, he's also the chairman of Oasia International. Yeah, he's also the council member of the Red Cross. Yeah, so and some more recently like September last year, right, he started to build his public profile. There's a website created about him, like his background, his religious belief, his interviews that he conducted, his upbringing, like all his humble backgrounds, like all his stories. And then recently, right, he also created his social media accounts, and then his social media account, right, has been like daily posting,
Like
sharing,
Alimah Yacob Facebook,
yeah, sharing more about him.
So he's trying to build a public image.
So a lot of the analysts, they say that he do that, right, he might be interested in running for the PE. And also one more thing, right, when the reporter asked him, are you interested to run for the PE, right, he said no comments.
No comments means yes.
Yes lah, no say no lah.
You know why would you say no comments?
Sounds like a good candidate, I think now Tharman needs to guard his back already.
But Tharman, like just now you say, he's an expert at guarding his back.
I like guarding the back, and I like planning the game.
You guys are, let's say us, right? We got such a stacked CV, right? When you see Tharman is the first person out there, right, that openly say, right, will you guys fight?
No lah.
You already know your opponent is like level 150. It's very hard to go against him. And some more, he has the support of many people, like what you showed us just now.
Yes, and more than just that, right? There's something that Tharman said in the video that I want to show you guys. Because he has an impressive CV. Doreen has mentioned all the key appointments he has held, right? But more than that, I think the reason why he is the best president for Singapore, or at least the best candidate right now, is because he has one philosophy. I want to unite the people regardless what walks of life they come from. So I'm going to play the video for you all. This was what he said.
Ministers, MPs, many others are part of the to and fro of politics. They are in the political fray. The president has to be above the political fray. And that's what I mean when I say the president can play a unifying role. And I offer myself partly because through my background, everyone knows who I am and they know that I have a independent streak, shall we put it that way. I think I can play that unifying role on race, religion, social backgrounds, the way you respect people, not look big and look small, up and down, and also people of different political persuasions. I feel I can play that role.
You know what's the crazy part? I was running through the comments. There are a couple of people who commented exactly what he's trying to create for Singapore. So let me show you guys some comments. We have Mr. Jemson. He said, as someone who voted for opposition parties in the past, I will vote for Tharman. I have faith in him.
Wow.
Opposition supporters saying he will vote for Tharman. We have this guy, a good choice for president, preferring to be PM though. But Tharman is a yes man, but a good yes man. Okay, so once again, opposition supporter. Another one, Tharman is the best. He got them mainly by merit. There are many MPs who got to area because of cronism. So he goes on and on about how, the PAP is all cronies and stuff. But first sentence, Tharman is the best.
Wow.
So we have a lot of opposition, very strong opposition supporters who are also very strongly in favour of him. Which is basically what he's saying. I want to unite people despite their political persuasions. Might be the best guy for the job. But what do you guys think? Do you think he might be the best president for Singapore?
I think so. I think with this philosophy, right, and his knowledge in finance, everything encompasses the duty of a president, right, is what he wants and he can deliver.
Jurong boy for the win.
What do you guys think? Do you think Tharman will be the best president of Singapore? Let us know and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.